Hey everybody, today is a special day. It is the day that I am no longer the mother of a teenage kid, and all of my children are grown adults. My youngest turned 20 today, and unfortunately he is in college many states away from me, and a very happy birthday to him. But today's video is going to be my very first garden tour of 2023. Now, mind you, not everything is planted, but a whole bunch is. This year, we have had an incredible amount of moisture just up the road from us, about 45 miles. In Mammoth Lakes, California, they have received like record amount of snow. In fact, we are preparing for a large amount of runoff. Our rivers are already overflowing, and we hope that we won't see any more flooding here at our location, because we had quite a bit of damage that we had to fix in the backyard in the greenhouse. Turn around and show you up there on the greenhouse. Anyway, so that is what today is going to be, so you don't have to see my face this entire video. I'm going to walk you around and show you what we have going so far and what may be a little bit different than last year. But for the most part, we are good to go. I do not have all of our tomatoes in, nor our peppers in yet, because we had actually left everything in the garden and allowed our chickens to forage for food throughout the entire yard until we had an unfortunate event and had something come over our fence and kill multiple chickens, and therefore I had to put them up. But if you can see this is our upper garden, and we have yet to get rid of everything except for this very first bed here that I put in 10 more asparagus plants from Handpicked Nursery. My son, when I went to visit in North Carolina, he took me to the actual nursery that I purchased my starts from here in the asparagus bed that needs to be weeded, that we've been able to harvest from this year for the first time. So let's go ahead and start here. Since we are up at the greenhouse, I'm going to turn you around and we'll start. So again, here is our asparagus bed, and preparing for company, I forgot to come out and pick these before they got too big. They can literally grow, well, they grow like a weed. As you can see, there's one here that's going to get harvested probably tonight. I have a few Roman chamomiles for my tea. I have some volunteer peas coming up here in this bed. And this is a volunteer tomatillo from last year's garden. Oops. Well, that's not very good. These are some basil and some peppers that we have to transplant. Here's our lemon balm that overwintered here in the greenhouse. We have a few things here in the greenhouse. My Chileno peppers, my plantain. These are the black oil sunflower seeds that we bought from the feed store for the chickens and the rabbits. I'm going to go ahead and take this seed hole off. Let that plant breathe a little bit. Oh, same here. There we go. Oh, same here. Oh, there we go. And so those will be transplanted in the bed right next to where I showed you the asparagus bed is out there. Now here we have some issues. I have no idea what's happening here, but these tomato plants have been stunted and not grown any further than what's right here. So today, I believe what's on the menu for my job here at the homestead is to transplant these into pure worm castings and see if that will push the growth. We've got some different things here that we received from a dear friend, some echinacea, some mullein. We had a black currant, but it has turned a crispy critter and we're not sure why. We have some lemon thyme, which smells absolutely amazing. I can't remember what this one is. Anise or I don't know. This is clary sage, and I'm not sure what happened to these, but these were also peppers. These I believe are tomatillos. These were volunteers. And here's a pepper plant I have, and some cucumbers, and some tomatoes, and some more seed that I started. Roman chamomile that will go out in the big, in fact, I probably will get it out soon. And then a zucchini. I've got zucchini already planted out here. But let's see. This year, so last year we had our, as you can see, it's coming up here, is our, right there, amaranth. And oh my goodness, it reseeds itself everywhere. This year in this bed we are growing some more lavender, some English lavender for our teas. So I have 3 of them here. I have more that I'll be transplanting up here. This is new. This is a blossoming cherry tree. It's not that often that I actually grow something here that does not provide for us. Even our bamboo provides for us because it's good trellising material, or building a teepee for green beans to grow on. This is actually a transplant from my great aunt and uncle's house, probably about 15 miles away. They're both passed on now, but this was taken from their backyard, a little tiny clump of it, and it's just grown amazingly. And then I have my comfrey starts that I uprooted from our patch over here. And here's our herb bed. And I've been waiting for these chive blossoms because I've already done a harvest of my chives and freeze dried them all already. So now I wanted to let it grow and give me some chive blossoms that we will use in a seasoning mix and a homemade onion blossom vinegar. Oh, it's amazing. Here we got some sage. This is new for me this year. Growing cooking sage. This is regular thyme and rosemary and some parsley in the back. And then some more sweet, like sandwich peppers, just like a snacking pepper. And our blueberries have growth, lots more growth this year. And my chard and some lettuce. And then this bed is just recently planted with some cilantro. And then here's our basil patch like we had last year. And let's see, where do we go from here? So I transplanted some comfrey that I'm going to try to keep in the greenhouse during the winter so that I can keep feeding it to our chickens and our rabbits. They love it, and I'm able to pick from this patch daily to feed to the chickens and rabbits. We've had our peach tree. Our nectarine tree is going to give us probably 200 plus nectarines this year, probably about 50. For this tiny little thing, we're going to probably get about 50 peaches. This is brand new bare root. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, if it's Lapins or Lapins cherry, but it is a self-pollinating cherry, and we just got it this year. And then our apple tree. Looking forward to that. Our aronia berry, if you are already following me, or if not, go check out the recent shorts video that I did on this plant here. This is an aronia berry, or also known as a chokeberry. It is a superfood, absolute superfood. All of our Munstead lavender is over in that planter there. Oh, I guess I could take you and show you. So blackberry plant. And then out here is all of our elderberries. It's a whole row of them. And then here are more. Let's see if I had, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's about 15 elderberries back there. As we come around here, here's the grape arbor that my husband built last year. So we've got Concord grapes growing on these, and you can see it's already got the little grape clusters growing. This right here is our goldenrod. Multiple cuttings from our elderberries, blackberries, comfrey, evening primrose, more comfrey, strawberries, and then here is our row of potatoes. So our row of potatoes, most of these are leftover store-bought, but then I have added some that I've never grown before. These are red potatoes. These are a variety of russet, and they are just flourishing in this. This is all homemade compost windrow. These right here are some French fingerlings. They were planted after these. And then here are banana potatoes. And then, well, I think I brought them out too early, but I have some sweet potatoes here. These 3 did not survive some cold winter or cold nights that we had, but this one's still doing okay. I have more slips in the house ready to go. We have some zucchini here. Now, mind you, they were all this light colored in the greenhouse. I just transplanted these out a couple days ago, but these have been out for a while, and look, you can see the difference in the color green, and that's because I put in some worm castings and some rabbit poop, and they just are thriving now, which these will as well. And then our oregano bed, that comes back every year, provides greatly for us for all of our canning needs, and hopefully someday I'll be able to extract the pure oil out of the oregano. In this bed, this is where we planted the potatoes last year. So the potatoes last year, when we harvested this bed in the fall, we did two crops of potatoes in this bed. And when we harvested in the fall, shoot, we must have left some little tiny potatoes, and as you can see, they've popped up throughout the bed. We're just going to leave it. It's free food. I'm not going to be concerned with it taking over where I have other things growing, because I can just, the crops that are in here are things that I can seed somewhere else and it not be a problem. So mixed in with this, I have beets, I have carrots, I have spinach, I have peas, I have lettuce, I have radishes, and some more lettuce. And here I have our strawberry bed, which is just absolutely excellent this year. We both noticed that these are Quinault strawberries from Handpicked Nursery out of Benton, I think it's Benson, North Carolina. And oh my goodness, they are so much taller than they were last year. And our thought process on it was this. The chickens, like I told you, they were allowed to come out through the fall and winter, and they loved this bed. So I have a feeling that the manure from them pooping in the bed while they would hang out in here just really gave this a little bit of a boost in the soil. But amazingly enough, I had been amending this soil throughout the season last year with rabbit manure and mealworm frass and worm castings. So it's interesting to see the difference in the growth, though. So I have a feeling it might have been from the poultry manure. Interesting. So as we come down here, you'll see some empty planters, but that doesn't truly mean they're empty. I have planted my loofah already and been watering it in, and hopefully we will see some loofah appear soon. No, that's just from the tree. And this bed is empty, and this will actually be my wine cap mushroom bed, specifically grown here. I have a planter out front that we are also going to plant with some wine cap mushrooms. All right, so more loofah in this planter. This is our loofah love arch. Not planted this yet, but here we have onions that we planted a few weeks back, and they're doing amazing. They were just little itty bitty tiny things. Here is our raspberry bed, which has been taken over with some weeds and lots of new raspberries. But we also put some onions in here to finish off what we couldn't fit in this bed, thinking that because it was only this little area with our raspberries, and I was like, well, we got to use up the space. Like last year I did the same thing and grew some cabbage in here and some peppers at that end, and it did amazingly. So we thought we'd use the space again, but now we have raspberries everywhere. I do need to get this weeded tonight when the sun goes down. I do have a cherry tomato plant out already, and I have to finish weeding this bed and planting this bed, and same with those two. Last year I tried to grow loofah on these upright arches. Unfortunately, it didn't do well. There were some, well, I mean, it grew, but what I ended up seeing is that the loofah that would hang from there ended up getting almost like sun scalded, and scarred the actual loofah on the inside of the skin. And so we're not going to do loofah on the arch this year. I might try again and see if anything changes, but I just don't think it will. Over there you can see a whole bunch of cucumbers. We will train them to go up that bamboo and then onto the cattle panel. And here, this is our amazing garlic bed. I have never grown garlic like this before. In fact, if I'm going to be honest, I never knew how to truly grow garlic, and that you plant in the fall and harvest in the summer. And so I had always tried to plant in the summer, and it just doesn't work that way. These are some volunteer plants that came up honestly, in the potato bed over here, and I'm not quite sure what they are. They could be a watermelon, they could be some type of squash or pumpkin. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to find out. So after we pass by the garlic will all be harvested in probably another month, or possibly month and a half. And so we're really looking forward to that. Big Elk Garlic Farm out of New York. That's where I got my starts. And we will go ahead and save our own garlic to be able to plant for next season's crop. So here are the cucumbers. I've got some red romaine and some red leaf lettuce here. This is a volunteer pepper plant of some sort. I have to get in here and weed. Oh my goodness. So we had some really gnarly weather starting in January. Lots of rain, lots and lots and lots of rain. In fact, we got so much precipitation that basically in a couple day period of time, we got more than we normally get in like a 5-year period of time. It was incredible. Anyway, all of that moisture plus the dreaded W word that we don't say around here. I'll spell it out for you, W-I-N-D. We had a lot of that, and I don't normally have weeds like this, and it just absolutely took over this year because of the water and the W word. Anyway, so we have some kale here. On the back side of the kale, you can see these binding looking things. Well, those are boysenberries. So when the boysenberries trail like this, they vine like this, if they touch the ground, they will reroot themselves into the ground. So when we came out in the spring to clean things up, there were areas that actually started to root themselves into the ground, and we dug those up and I transplanted them into this first bed up to right here, I believe. And so we're gonna let it go however far down it wants to go, honestly, onto the cattle panel. And then out front here we have some spearmint and some mint that is just absolutely taking off. I'll probably come out and harvest this today, get it in the freeze dryer, and we'll either use it for cooking or our teas. And then last area of the garden so far are our winter growing barrels. These are usually in the greenhouse. If you follow me, you will know this. This first bed is nothing but cantaloupe. And this bed right here, I'm going to plant some more stuff on the opposing side here, but these right here are sweet meat winter squash. And then these here are spaghetti squash and butternut squash. And then over here, I don't know, this isn't doing too well. These are the beets that we grew in the winter, and I've been letting these go because I want to collect the seeds from them. And I'm hoping we're going to get there soon and be able to harvest this so we can get it out of here, because I'm trying to grow watermelon, and they're not doing so good. I'm not really sure what's happening, but we might have to revisit and reseed those. So yeah, that's what's happening here so far on cruising the Sierra farm. And can't wait to see how things do this year. The upper garden will have most of our tomatoes grown in there. And let's see, our peppers, we still have to get out our peppers and our paprika peppers and whatever else we decide to grow. But there it is for you. Look at all that snow on the mountains. Are you seeing that? Let me go. Actually, here's what I'll do. Yeah, I'm up on the stairs at the back door so that you could see over the fence better. See all that snow? See all that snow in those mountains? Okay, now we're gonna go to a whole different mountain range, and there's still snow at the tops of those. Now really quick, the rule of thumb here in the valley that I live in is to never plant your garden until the snow is off of these. Well, I don't listen to that all the time. And I'm actually really late on planting my tomatoes. I usually have my tomatoes in the ground in March, and I cover them on the days that it looks like it's gonna freeze. Most people don't plant their tomato plants here until Memorial Weekend, after Memorial Weekend, so the end of this month. But that's not how I do things around here. I always get a head start on things, and I just protect when I need to. And so I usually have really good sized growing tomatoes at this point, and that's not the case this year for me, just because we had lots of damage happening to the greenhouse during the seedling stage, and with the flooding and everything, it's just really put us behind quite a bit. But anyway, thanks for coming along on our tour of the garden in 2023, and we will revisit with updates throughout the season. And I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope y'all are growing your own food and becoming more self-reliant and self-sustainable and helping your communities out as well. Y'all have a great day.